You know, we all laugh. It's universal. But have you ever stopped to think about what it all really means? Well, today we are going deep. We're going to decode the secret language that's hiding inside our giggles, our chortles, and even our sneers to figure out what we're all saying when we aren't speaking a single word.
So right off the bat, a little test for you. Just listen to this for a sec. What did that tell you? Was I happy? A little smug, maybe? Or was I making fun of you? See? It's not so simple, is it?
And that right there is exactly the point. The word laugh is it's too small. It's too simple to cover this huge, massive range of feelings we express. So today, we're going to arm ourselves with a much better, richer vocabulary to get what's really going on behind every single laugh, chuckle, and smirk. All right, let's start with the good stuff, shall we? The sounds of pure, unadulterated joy. These are the kinds of laughs that seal friendships, they warm your heart, and they show genuine, unfiltered happiness.
First on our list is the giggle. You know this one. It's that light, kind of high-pitched, almost unstoppable sound of pure silliness. It's what happens when you and a friend share a completely ridiculous inside joke. Now, a chuckle is a totally different animal. It's much softer, it's lower, and it's way more contained. A chuckle is that quiet little sound of amusement you make when you're reading a funny text or remembering something that made you smile. It's a really warm, gentle kind of sound.
And then you have the chortle. This is a big one. A chortle is that truly joyful, hearty, almost booming sound that just bursts out of you when you find something genuinely hilarious. Let's be real, you can't hold back a good chortle.
Okay, but now the tone is going to shift a little bit. A cackle, well, it's also loud, but it's harsh. It's sharp. Think of the classic movie villain who's just enjoying someone else's bad luck a little too much. Yeah, it can feel pretty unpleasant.
So you can see this stark contrast right here. A chuckle is born from pure, warm, genuine amusement. A cackle, on the other hand, often comes from a much darker place, like mockery or even taking pleasure in someone else's misfortune. It really all boils down to the intent behind the sound. And you know, sometimes the most powerful expressions are completely silent. When you beam at someone, it's this huge, radiant smile that just lights up your entire face. It's pure, uncontained joy or pride or satisfaction. No sound necessary.
Okay, time to move over to let's call it the darker side of the emotional spectrum. Let's look at how smiles and laughs can actually be weaponized to express scorn, superiority, and even contempt.
And first up is the smirk. This is not a happy smile, folks. It's that crooked, kind of self-satisfied look a person gets when they think they're the smartest person in the room or they know a secret you don't. It's all about feeling smug.
A sneer? Well, a sneer takes that negativity and cranks it up to 11. It is openly hostile. It's a look of pure contempt, often with that little curl of the upper lip that says, I find you and everything you stand for completely pathetic.
And here is the absolute key difference between the two. A smirk is all about feeling superior. It's an internal smugness. But a sneer is about actively showing your contempt for someone else. It's an external, hostile attack. One is subtle, the other is, well, it's a direct shot.
And then there's a jeer. A jeer is public. It's aggressive mockery. Just picture a crowd shouting at the opposing team during a game, or hecklers trying to drown out a speaker. It's loud, it's rude, and its only purpose is to ridicule.
And finally, we have the leer. And this one is particularly unpleasant. A leer is a look that's either suggestive or malicious, and it's specifically designed to make the person on the receiving end feel deeply uncomfortable. It's predatory, and it just has this distinctly creepy vibe.
All right, you have learned the code. You know the secret language. So, let's see if you can crack it. It's time for a quick little quiz to put all this new knowledge to the test. Ready?
Okay, here's our first one. When she realized she had won the lottery, Sarah sneered broadly. That just doesn't sound right at all, does it? So what's the word we're looking for here?
Yes, of course. The correct word is beam. She would beam with pure, uncontained joy. A sneer would mean she felt contempt for winning the lottery, which makes absolutely zero sense.
How about this one? He chuckled scornfully at his opponent's arguments, clearly showing his disdain. A chuckle, remember, is that warm, quiet laugh that just does not fit with the word scornful. So what's the right word for a scornful laugh? You got it. The word is sneer. A sneer is the absolute perfect way to show open contempt for someone else's ideas, basically turning a laugh into an act of aggression right in the middle of a debate.
So why on earth did we just spend all this time decoding these very specific words? Well, it's because understanding this kind of nuance has a real tangible impact on how we see and interact with the entire world around us.
Look, this isn't just a vocabulary lesson. This is about social intelligence. Seriously. When you can tell the difference between a smirk and a genuine beam, you are way better equipped to handle a negotiation. When you can recognize the hostility in a sneer, you know exactly where you stand with someone. It lets you read the room, build stronger connections, and see all the subtle power dynamics playing out everywhere, all the time.
So the next time you laugh, or you see someone else laugh, I want you to just stop for a second and think. Was that a giggle of pure delight? A quiet chuckle of amusement? Or was it a smirk of superiority? Now that you know the code, what does your own laugh truly say about you?